Hello and welcome back once again to yet another edition of The Buzz, the show that we tape here at Abington Cam Studios in the Abington Middle High School. My name is Shawn Reilly and I am your host, and what we try to do with this show each and every time is bring you inside Abington High School and kind of get you to meet some of the student athletes that represent our town and our school so well. And today's edition, we're real happy to be here and be joined with two seniors who are on the Abington Greenway boys soccer team. So I want you to welcome David Byrne, who's sitting to my far left, and Phillip Diaz. Welcome aboard, guys. You guys, the Abington boys soccer team, has a lot to celebrate this season. Had a fantastic season. Why don't you tell your viewers at home, what's your record right now, and tell me about the recent accolade that you attained.
All right, I think our record right now is like, was it 8-5-3, I believe it is.
Yeah,
right
8-5-3, yeah.
And we were recently just crowned Tobin Division champions for the first time in history. So
For the first time in Abington High School history, Abington boys soccer is the South Shore League Tobin Division champions, which is huge. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, we've had a soccer program for a while, and it's always been just trying to make that break, and you guys did it.
Yeah.
What is so special about this team?
I feel like this team, like, out of all the teams, put in the most effort, the most work, and like everyone has been, you know, actually trying their best and putting all the effort into.
And you guys got a great mix of offensive players, defensive players.
yeah, definitely. I think out of all the teams I've been on for the years, we definitely gel the best with this group of boys here. So.
Now, David, you're a 4-year player.
Yep.
And you are a 3-year player.
Yes.
Where were you the 4th year? You injured, just didn't play?
Yeah. No, well, I played. I just didn't make full varsity.
Gotcha. Okay, so 4-year varsity, 3-year varsity, but you're a solid, lifelong soccer player.
Yeah.
In fact, you guys told me you've been playing together since you were in, what, 3rd grade?
Yeah, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9, 10 years old. Yeah.
That's great. What is it? Have you seen the soccer program just getting bigger and better here in Abington? Girls side, boys side, youth soccer, everything?
Definitely. When I was going into my freshman year, I think it was like the first year we made the playoffs. The year before that, so just seeing us progressively, become like that fringe team that just kind of barely makes it to a team that should be definitely making it every season to where we are now. The progression's been quick, but it's been deserved.
Phillip, do you think at the beginning of the season you guys are going to be as successful as you are now?
Honestly, yeah, because I saw like us in tryouts. Like tryouts was like a little bit different this year. I feel like we had like more players show up, more effort put in, like everything like kind of changed, like it shifted, like you could see like the attitude in people. People
wanted to be part of this team.
Yeah.
They knew it was going to be good, solid. You just have those years where everything starts to gel, and you guys are riding it as seniors. Now, tell me, you're a center back, and you are a center midfielder.
Yeah.
To all of us non-soccer guys, what's the difference?
Well, center back is primarily defensive. You're kind of like the anchor of the back line. Usually you play like a back four where you have 2 center backs in the middle and then the left and right on the outside to anchor down the defense. And center midfielder is probably the most important position on the field because you do a little bit of everything. You're passing, you're shooting, you're defending. You're
running the entire field.
Yeah, you got to be the rock in the team.
I just had a couple of interesting quotes from your coach, Brian Claus. Phillip, absolute engine in the middle of the pitch, which is the playing field for soccer, and fearless against any opponent. You're just the type of guy who you like to play aggressively.
Yeah.
So you go at the ball no matter who's trying to dribble by you.
Exactly, yeah.
Love that. And then David, he says, the coach Claus says, you're a rock on defense, has been improving the back line each and every year. Every year since you've been playing varsity, the goals against the team has decreased because you're out there in the back line. So he even gave stats for this, that in 2022, we had 37 goals scored against us, 2023, 37, 2024, as you progressed, went from 37 to 27, and this year there's only 23 goals scored against you this season, which is great for a defense because, as you know, you can have a strong offense, but if you don't have a backbone behind you,
definitely,
you got nothing. Who's your goalie?
Jimmy
Campbell, sophomore.
Sophomore?
Or junior, sorry.
Junior.
Okay, junior. He's got some good years ahead of him.
Definitely, yeah.
Tell me about some of the other players. Like who are the guys that you have just been impressed by this year with their efforts, just what the things they put together?
Well, for me, definitely being on the back line would be Mateus Bispo, who's a sophomore, also plays center back as well. And, it's just like if anything gets by me, I know he's going to be there to clean it up. Like he's just super athletic. Do you know what I mean? He's still developing mentally, and I assume he's only going to get better as a player as those years go on.
And that's got to give you confidence that you can depend on the guy behind you, so you can take some extra risks.
Absolutely, I
try to
can
clear.
push forward a bit more, pass a bit more, knowing he's behind me.
Right. Who are you pretty high on this year? You can name any one or two or three guys.
Yeah, I would say Lucas de Oliveira.
Lucas.
Yeah, he's like very fast, very explosive. He like never gives up. And like throughout the whole game, he's always running up and down the line because he plays right back.
Yep.
Like right wing back, so he attacks and defends. In that whole game, he's running that whole line and doing his best.
So it's amazing what great shape you guys are in. I mean, you have to have speed, but you have to have stamina, and you have to just be ready to go all game, every game. So you're just amazing athletes. I was impressed by one of the stats. David Byrne, center back, as you described, basically a defensive player. You are have the second most goals on the team this year with 7 goals. How does it happen that? Are you the Ray Bork of Abington High School?
No, I just think I'm just a heading threat. When corner kick goes out, I go up and we run our set piece plays and try and get me open. And usually when the ball gets there, I can bang them in. So
really, so you like the head. Who's your kick? Who does the corner kick?
So it depends on the side, but usually we have our lefty Raul Matoso or Samuel Almeida, and then on the right it would be Brody Grafton.
Great. Yeah. So everyone's pitching in on the pitch.
Definitely.
Yeah. Really. What team was your favorite victory this year?
I think we can both agree it was definitely Cohasset.
Why is that?
We haven't beaten them in ages, and it was a 3-0 victory, so it was to lay a kind of stamp of approval on the rest of the league that we're here to play now. We're not the team that loses to these kind of guys anymore.
Am I correct that you tied them early in the season here at Abington?
Yeah.
And then you went down to Cohasset.
No, we beat them before and then tied them.
Okay, then you tied them, and then you went to their house, and what was the final?
3-0.
3-0. 3-0.
Yeah.
That was impressive. Coach Stock was texting me after the game on a bus ride home. He was psyched. Let's talk about your coaches. Coach Brian Claus has been there, a couple of assistant coaches. What's the vibe on the Green Wave sidelines in the soccer field?
Well, me and him kind of started together. He got the varsity position, I think, maybe a year before I started playing on the varsity team. So, I've seen him develop as a coach, and he's seen me develop as a player. But if I were to say anything about him, he's a great motivator, good guy. Like if you're feeling down, to build the team back up, and if you're going in halftime, you're losing, you can get a result because he'll say the right words to get you going.
Yeah.
Phil, are your practices intense and he's just beating you and making you run and just get in shape, or are they kind of lighthearted and you're trying to bond together? What happens during a practice?
I would say like both, because there's practices where we actually like go at it, like we practice our hardest, like just in case for games and stuff. But then like a day before a game, it's more like connection type, like more like building our connection, our like team chemistry to make sure we're ready for what we're playing next.
I've always said when I was in high school, and I'm sure when you're in high school, some of the most fondest memories are the bus rides, especially after a big victory. Coming home from Cohasset must have been enjoyable.
Definitely, yeah.
Whereas a loss can be kind of a quiet ride. Tell me a little bit more about your assistant coaches, Joe McDonald, Will Casely, Jose Andrade, and John Stark. Helpful? Must be. Great guys. I've met them all. Tell me about how they chip in to really make this a well-rounded team.
No, they're definitely great. They take a lot of the pressure off Claus. They can handle stuff. They all know how the game works and how the game goes. They took the time to know us personally rather than just be people shouting directions. So it just shows they care about their players, and they all want to see us succeed.
You agree with that?
Yes, I can.
Tell me now, if you have a choice, would you rather? Let me ask you a different way. Is there a specific playing field that you really enjoy playing on? Is it the home field? I really love there, and if that's true, great. But also tell me, if you go away, is there a field that you really like playing against, or maybe it's just the team you like playing against?
Honestly, I would say away. Like I don't know, like you said, like bus rides. Like after a big win, everyone wants to have fun, like listen to music, sing and stuff, have fun. So really away, and I like our like white kits better than our green ones. So yeah, but home can be good too, because you don't have to travel as far or waste all that time.
You get the crowds there from the homers are all there. How about you, David?
I definitely prefer playing at home, because when you're at home, you have this kind of like pride you want to take to make it like your own home. Like
you're defending the kingdom.
Yeah, you don't want anyone to beat you there, but. If I were to choose a place to play away, it would definitely be Norwell, because it's they're one of the best teams, so you just get that kind of motivation. I want to go out and play them harder. So
now you guys are heading to the MIA playoffs, right? Do you get your eyes on any teams? Do you have any idea who you might be playing coming up? I know they haven't announced it formally.
It's right now. It's looking like a lot of things might change in these last few games, so we're not sure yet. But any team we get announced to play, we always take the preparation to look into them and see their weaknesses and see what we can do to exploit them.
What's the relationship between boys soccer and girls soccer? I mean, you both play the same game, and I know usually when varsity boys are home, girls varsity's away, much like basketball, so you don't get to see each other play. But there have been a couple of situations or times this year where you had the scheduled doubleheaders where both boys varsity and girls varsity played at home or played away. Do you like those opportunities to kind of see your classmates, your varsity classmates playing?
Yeah, it's always like fun watching them game and supporting them, and like they do the same for us. So it's always like, having that support around, and it helps us, keeps us motivated.
Yeah, because they live the same life that you guys do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they love soccer. You said that you guys have been playing since 3rd grade.
Yeah.
For a kid who's out there right now, maybe they're not playing youth soccer. Is there a time when it's too late to stop playing soccer, or just start going and do your best?
Absolutely not, in my opinion. It's soccer's one of those sports where like you can choose a specific skill to be really good at, and it could be really helpful to a team. Like it's a lot of positional players. Playing like what he was like
Freshman year.
yeah. Freshman year, and he makes good contributions to varsity, so it really is never too late as long as you work hard, like all things.
And there's a lot you can do to prepare yourself to play for soccer. One of the things is running, getting
Definitely.
in shape.
Yeah.
What do you guys don't play any other sports, right?
No.
So what do you do on the off season?
Oh, definitely, run, gym, all the stuff to keep your body safe.
Yeah.
You train throughout the year too?
Yeah. I usually play like soccer throughout the whole year because me and my friends, he was on the team too. We had like an indoor team where we would go to Hanover and play.
Yep.
And we would just compete against other teams like Norwell, Weymouth. It's like a small league that we play.
So kind of cool. So some of the kids that you're playing against are the kids you're playing against in your league. 'Cause
Yeah,
you already got to know some of their moves.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Their attitudes, how you can get under their skin.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? So you are student athletes. Let me ask you a question. When you're in the hallowed halls of Abington High School, do you have a favorite class or favorite teacher that you really enjoy?
Honestly, I'd probably say Miss Madalena for Holocaust.
Really?
Yeah, because I had her my sophomore year too, so she's always been really nice to me, and I don't know, I just like her class.
Super.
Probably say Mr. Foley, Phillip Foley. He's does a lot of the computer classes here, and he's always like Claus. He's a good motivator. He's always kind of trying to give it to us real instead of like sugarcoating it, like maybe other teachers. He always tells you how it is, so I can always appreciate that.
Well, I can't tell you how proud Abington Nation, Green Wave Nation is, the boosters, I'm sure your parents, your teammates, and really alumni from Abington Soccer who I've reached out to. Like, they're thrilled that you guys have taken the crown, and everyone's wishing you luck in the playoffs. Anything can happen in the playoffs. I just want to congratulate you, because as soon as we heard, we put it up a nice little sign. It's just a great historical benchmark for Abington boys soccer. And I hope that you guys will go into the playoffs great. And in coming years, I know you'll be graduating, but I'm sure we'll see you on the sidelines, cheering on some of the younger underclassmen. We're gonna take a quick break, because we're gonna actually bring Coach Claus in here to talk, see what he says about you guys. But really want to just congratulate the Abington boys soccer team and thank these guys for stopping by. David Byrne and Phillip Diaz, two of the best of the best. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with the chief cook and bottle washer, Coach Brian Claus, in just a second.
Sam Almeida with the corner. They line up in front of the Situate net. Quick boot. Header, and it's a score by number 4, senior captain David Byrne. Beautiful header to give Abington the early 1-0 lead.
Okay, we're back with the second half of our show here, The Buzz at Abington High School, and it is my pleasure to invite and introduce onto the show and on camera our varsity soccer coach, Brian Claus, or is it Klaus, or what is it?
So, traditionally it is Klaus, German name. So my grandfather was German, but my grandmother Irish, preferred Klaus, sounded more Irish. Yeah.
You just tell me a story about how your secretary.
Yes.
That story.
So the story went that when my grandfather was working, when my grandmother would call into his office, the secretary would answer, and she would beep in and say, "Mr. Klaus, Mrs. Claus is on the phone for you." So
One half of the family liked Claus, the other one liked Klaus.
yeah.
Well, we're
I
happy-
accept either.
Okay.
The other one's fine.
Well, Coach, congratulations. We had two of
Thank
your
you.
players on earlier, and we were thrilled to brag about your recent Tobin Division Championship for the first time in Abington High School history.
Yeah.
That's impressive. It's just a mile marker that you've now set for all of the rest of history, and congratulations. It starts
you.
at the top.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're all very, very excited about it. So
And now we're heading to the end of the season and into the playoffs this year. What is it about this team that you think how do they all gel so well?
I think it started long before this season. These guys definitely gel very well together. They communicate well. They work well together. They push each other very. I don't want to say hard, but in a way that's constructive for us.
Yeah, encouraging each other.
Exactly, and
cooperative.
it is a very positive environment and a positive culture. Something that we've been from day one. It's 5 years in now. From day one, we said in order for us to be successful, we need to be positive culture.
Yeah.
And we've really cultivated that within the program, and with my captains that I've got and some of my other upperclassmen, they've really stuck to that.
Well, I've heard tremendous things about your senior leadership, and especially your three captains. And those three captains are David Byrne, who was just on here with us, Nathan Calcano, who was on earlier edition, and Sam Almeida. Talk to me about your captains. How did they become captains, and are you happy with their leadership?
Very pleased with how they've performed as captains this year, as players, and just as role models for the other players. Generally speaking, the coaches at the end of the season will speak, say, hey, who do we want to kind of lead our team? We always have a junior captain. I think that's great to have continuity, someone that's kind of been there before and can continue to lead.
And that's Nathan.
And that's Nathan this year, yep. David was our junior captain last year, so second year captain. And so we'll get the coaches will speak about it. We'll get some insight from some of the graduating seniors, just think, who do you think would fit the bill here?
Yeah.
And it's good to kind of take over, be that extension of the coaching staff. And really, when it came down, there was really no brainers.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of great leaders on this team.
I was just going to say, you had a lot of candidates in this.
We do, and choosing them at the beginning of the season or in the spring when we kind of announced, looking at some of these would-be seniors and saying, yeah, you're not going to necessarily wear a captain's armband, but you're very much a leader on this team.
Right.
And there's really no shortage of leadership.
And then you have your defensive leaders and your offensive leaders. I mean,
Exactly.
no I in the word team, right? I mean, you
No.
guys all have to play together. There is an I in victory. Let me ask you about your leading scorer, Dimitri St. Paul.
Yes.
Has he exceeded your expectations, or is he just right on where you thought he'd be?
So he came on last year. He came in a little into the season as he moved here from the Virgin Islands, and practiced a bit with the JV first. His first JV game, I think he scored first half in Mashpee, came over to us the second half and scored in the second half for us. So from there he stayed on with us, and he was very raw last year, I'll say.
Yeah.
And this year he's matured. He's grown. He's learned much more. So he's been a more effective player.
And he's a sophomore.
And he's a sophomore. He's a big boy too. He can, and when he wants to, he can bully some defenders out there, and it's great to see.
Yeah.
But I know that last year he was just, like I said, he's young, and he's starting to really mature and really take things on for himself.
And that's huge, and that's also a credit to your senior leadership, where the young guys feel that they have the ability to be confident and to kind of push and compete with the seniors on both their team and the other team. And you've got a goalie who's not a senior.
Nope, junior.
Yeah, he's another junior. He is a junior. Jimmy Campbell has been outstanding this year.
Yeah, he's been very good. I mean, there's a huge confidence with him in net. Knowing that he's going to make a big save when you need it. I mean, usually you say you want your goalie to make one or two big saves a game. You should.
Yeah.
After that, you shouldn't require him to do much more than that. You got other issues if he's making more. But with Jimmy and net, that you're going to get those.
Yeah.
I mean, during training and during warm-ups, I'll try to place him on him, and he somehow gets fingers too. It's frustrating for me, but it's very encouraging at the same time, knowing that, you know, that when those come around in the game, he's on them.
In that, you know, soccer defense and offense is much like American football defense and offense. You can't have one succeed and not the other. You've got to have a strong defense. You've got to have a strong offense. And that's what this team exemplifies. I mean, you've got some good defensive guys playing in front of your goalie, right? I mean, is that luck or is that just them training, playing, working hard?
No, I wouldn't say it's luck. It's very much to them. We've got David, who's in his 4th season with us.
Yep.
as a starting center back. Mateus Bispo has come on as a sophomore and has been an absolute beast for this year. And we've had a combination of Taddy Grayson, who's a freshman, who's been solid. We've had Miguel de Souza as a senior, who's been solid when called upon. You know, we've got the guys who really put in the work and the dedication to succeed and to make that successful. And even some of the guys who don't get as much time. Nolan Messia, who has spent most of the time playing JV, but you know, comes up on varsity every so often, and when he's called upon, he's done fantastic. So there's a lot of, not only have we had it consistently with David, say, for 4 years, but we're starting to see some of the younger kids really take on.
Yeah.
And that's a credit to David, and that's a credit to Phillip and Matthew Grafton and all these other seniors who have really instilled in them that work ethic.
Yeah.
You know, during training sessions and whatnot.
I'm a good friend with one of your assistant coaches, John Stark.
Yeah.
And he talks effusively about this team and about your coaching skills. And you've got a great bunch of assistant coaches.
Yeah.
Will Casely, Jose Anred, and John Stark, and I'm missing one.
New JV coach Joe McDonald.
Joe McDonald, yeah. Tell me about the coaching relationships. Do you guys have like little coaches meetings about how you're going to address things, or how do you do it?
We talk through our training. Okay, how do these guys look? What, you know, is this working during the game? If I'm not muttering to myself up and down the sideline, they might pull me aside, or I might go to them and say, "What are we thinking here? How do we shake things up?"
Yeah.
What seems to be working?
So the good sounding boards for you to.
Good sounding boards, but I mean, they're not just there to yes.
Yeah.
You know, they'll come and say, "Hey, listen, I think this might, why don't we try him here, or why don't we look to do this, or I think that this is working more, and maybe this isn't as much." So it's a group effort, and I'm fortunate to have these guys.
And is your offensive output this year more than what it was last year, or is just more effective?
No, we're actually, the last few seasons, we have gone down in goals against every year, and we've gone up or at least maintained the goals that we've scored up until this year. We're not scoring quite as many.
Yep.
We don't have a Max Lindo or an Aiden Grafton or a Trevor Grafton.
Yep.
Someone that's going to just out of nowhere find you goals.
Right.
Between Max and Aiden last year, we're down 35 goals.
Yeah.
Coming out of our midfield.
Right.
But what we do have is guys who, and as we say this in the huddle and on the sideline and everything, guys who don't care who scores as long as we score.
Right.
So it's spread out a little bit more, which is great because now I don't have to look, as a team, we don't look at one guy to say, "Oh God, hey, I need you to score. I need you to score."
Feed him the ball.
It's guys who wants it.
Right.
How do we do this together? And that they've been really good about doing that.
Well, like when we were talking to David Byrne earlier, so your number one scorer is a sophomore striker, basically on offense. Your number two scorer is David Byrne, who plays on defense.
Yep.
And I asked him, I said, "Are you the Ray Bork of Abington soccer?" Because that's impressive when you have that threat all across the field, and it just shows, again, the teamwork, how the ball moves. And on that. This is your, fifth year as
Fifth
varsity?
season, yes.
What was before your 5 years as varsity coach?
So when I first came to Abington, I think it was 2012, 2013. I didn't coach then, just trying to get my feet under me. But then the following year, I started coaching under John McGinnis. Mm-hmm. And I had 3 years as a JV coach under him. I decided to pack up and move to China for 2 years to try teaching over there for a little bit. So I did that. And I was actually coaching girls' middle school soccer over there.
Really?
Very vastly different than coaching boys' high school, as you can imagine. And then coming back, I was actually moving stuff into my classroom, and Pete caught me out in the parking lot. He said, "Hey, we need a JV coach. You want to do it again?" I was kind of like, "Sure, yeah, let's do it."
Great.
So I did 3 years under as JV coach under Mike Casely, who was varsity coach then, and then 2021 was my first season as the varsity coach.
So basically, I have two questions for you. Did you play in college or high school or whatever? Did you play soccer?
I grew up in Needham, and I grew up playing Needham youth soccer, Needham high school soccer.
Right.
My coach is legendary Don Brock. He had over 700 wins, I think, as a varsity coach. And Paul Tolino, JV coach, Jay Steves. So like a great group of coaches there to go through. And actually, when I first started teaching, started out as a TA in Needham, and that was my first phone call to Coach Brock to say, "Hey, can I tag along a little bit?
Yeah.
Can I
So he
join
taught
the
you as
group?"
a player, and then he taught you as a coach.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned you were in China for 2 years as
Yes.
part of your career. Tell me about that.
So I got bored one summer, as teachers kind of tend to do sometimes, and I started looking online to see if I could go teach abroad. I lived in Germany after college.
Really?
I did. I was working for Adidas over there.
Yeah.
And so I said, I kind of want to go somewhere else. You get the bug, right? So I was looking at teaching abroad somewhere, and ad came up. Hey, teach in China. I said, sure, why not? It's not going to happen, so
And
why
what did
not?
you teach there?
So I taught middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I taught ancient Civ, both 1 and 2, 7th and 8th grade. I taught 20th century history in 6th grade, and I taught English language arts in 7th grade.
And is this international English-speaking students?
Yep. International school, had a test in English to get in. I was basically teaching the same 7th grade English curriculum as my colleagues here,
And
which I emailed them to get materials for. So.
do you speak Chinese or German?
Sprechen Sie keine Deutsch?
Okay,
a little bit of
German.
And Indian, Chinese.
Now, in here at Abington Middle School, you're a middle school teacher. You teach 7th grade geography and 8th grade civics.
Yes.
Is that something you've done for a couple of years? Do you enjoy those subjects?
So when I first got hired in Abington, I was the 7th, 8th grade teacher. So I had geography in 7th grade. I've always had that. 8th grade used to be U.S. history, they call it Age of Exploration through the Constitution. And recently they had changed it to civics instead.
I mean, when I saw these in my notes, I'm like, geography and civics are, I think, so valuable to young kids. And I think there are certain groups, certain schools that don't get that. And they're just living without any knowledge of what's around them, in my personal opinion. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
It's just wonderful. And you put a lot of time into Abington, both you're teaching during the day, and then for the rest of your afternoon into the evenings, you're coaching on the field, you're on a bus. Your biggest win this year, I'm going to say, was Cohasset.
Yeah, that was one we've been looking for a few years now.
Yeah.
So I think when I first started, it was kind of a, you never beat Cohasset, you never beat Norwell, that kind of, I don't want to say mentality, but it was the reality of the time.
Yeah.
And we've built the program, and now we've competed. The following year, my second year, we lost to Cohasset in this overtime of our second round of the playoffs.
Yep.
That one's done. Yeah, so do I. And still haven't watched the game. And then, the following years, the games got closer and closer. Last year, they tied us with the last kick of the game at home. Yep. And then this year, we beat them 3-0 at their place.
Which is good.
And then tied them here at ours.
That's great.
It was the first season that we had not lost to Cohasset.
Wonderful. How about most disappointing loss of the year? Was there a tough one that you really wish you could do over again?
Norwell. They scored off a mistake a minute and a half into the game, and we ended up losing 1-0, but we were there the whole way. We had our opportunities. We kept them at bay. I think they only had one shot within 25 yards
really
for the rest of the game. Like I said, one big save is what you require from your goalkeeper. Jimmy made it. We just couldn't find the net on our opportunities.
What's your vision of heading into the playoffs now? You think you have the power, the horses that you can run into this playoffs? I know you're going to be playing the best of the best, but what's your sense of how the team feels?
I think we feel good. We feel positive about it. Going into tournament, we always want that feeling.
Yeah.
We're determined. I think last year we went out in the first round, which was a bit disappointing for us. We had much higher expectations for them.
Yeah.
And for us as a program. And this year, I think it's the same. We have high expectations. We've been floating around the top 5 in the state for the entirety of the season, I think. Our highest was, we ranked 3rd. We're at I think our lowest was maybe 8 or 9. We're ranked 7th right now, going into these 2 games with Rockland, which are going to make a big difference, one way or the other. Hopefully our way.
That's just wonderful.
So,
the reputation you've built here at Abington for the soccer program, and that Abington is now a threat to other teams, whereas before they were kind of like, it's usually a win for us. No longer is that the case.
No, it's nice 'cause talking to other coaches. I know last year Jim Willis over at Cohasset, he mentioned at the coaches meeting at the end of the season, he goes, yeah, my guys were, they were ranked first going into the tournament. They ended up winning the states, but the one thing they said is like, we don't want to see you. You're the last team that we want to see. And we had a tough game at Millbury this past weekend. At the end of the game, shake hands, coach says, hey, good luck. Hope we don't see you. Randolph was in our division. Coach over there, Greg, same thing. We're hoping to get in the tournament. We just don't want to see you guys.
It's a great message to get from other coaches.
It's nice. It's encouraging.
Yeah.
It makes you. It kind of tells you, you're doing things right.
Now you're going to lose some really good seniors when graduation comes. But tell me about your vision for next year with the team you've got and some other youngsters who might be coming through the ranks.
We lose 7 seniors, but we still have a young team.
Yeah.
Our junior class is very good. We say we probably have the fastest team in the league, easily, between Lucas de Oliveira and the Calcano twins. They are very fast. Raul Matosa is very fast. So we've got a lot of speed within the team. Mateus Bispo in the back is very fast. So we've got that asset, and it's, like I said, it's still pretty young.
Yeah.
We lose a bit, but we still got a lot.
It's going to be exciting.
And they surprise you. Every year they surprise you. We said the first year, we lose Zuzu, we lose Trevor, we lose Chris. And then up steps Yuri and Richard and Liam. And all right, we lose Liam and Richard and Yuri. But then a step up, Max and Aiden and Nathan made a big step last year.
You get these teenage boys who are sophomores, and all of a sudden as a junior, they're a different physical structure.
But
same thing.
But they come and they step up.
Yeah.
Every year it's been impressive to watch. And a lot of these kids, they just improve, and they take it upon themselves to either take a bigger role or take more responsibility.
Yep.
Take more risks, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see.
Well, you are the rudder on that ship, and got to again congratulate you on your accomplishments thus far this season. We have to wish you well, you and your teammates and your assistant coaches, coming up in the playoffs. I hope a lot of people from Green Wave Nation will get out there on the sidelines and be there to support the Abington Green Wave soccer team. All the playoff announcements will be coming out next week, and we'll be trying to spread the word out there for the fans to jump on the bandwagon. But Coach, again, congratulations. You've really formulated a great program here at Abington Boys Soccer, and it looks like we've got a pretty good future ahead of us, and can't thank you enough for your leadership and just the attitude and the mojo you bring to the sidelines. So thank you for coming on here on The Buzz. We really appreciate it. And good luck to all of our Green Wave teams as they head into the playoffs. We're going to have a lot more to celebrate and talk about in the coming weeks. I'm pretty confident. So please make sure you stay tuned to The Buzz, but more importantly, get there on the sidelines to all of our different sports teams and be proud of your Green Wave pride, and really just be there to support our Green Wave student athletes. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you at our next episode.